Welcome to Rauta's Reviews. Today I will present you two releases by the VIII band, so consider this sort of a dual review. Now, before we go to the actual release, I must say that whenever I hear kind of a hipsterish name or hipsterish name of a band, my body reacts to kind of give me a goosebumps. Not actual goosebumps, but like mentally I'm like, okay, what's going on right now? And one of these bands is what I have here today, which I could just say it's called Contempt. But it seems the band has decided to go without the vowel, so it's Contempt. Well, there you have it. Anyway, what I have here is a debut album by the band, a self-titled release, as well as the 2020 MLP. Let's start with the first one. Now, previously I have actually reviewed the Towards Neglect second CD a couple of years ago. No, it must have been 2019. So now that I got all of these for review, I decided to skip that Towards Neglect because, well, already reviewed, no point going back. But instead, going to review this new one and present this first one because, I mean, why the hell not? This is already a little bit older release, so let's take a look at the band's Metal Archive site. As you can see, this CNTMPT/Contempt is a band from Germany, founded in 2011, featuring three sort of anonymous members. Well, not exactly anonymous because, well, they have their first initials here mentioned, but still. Now, what makes this band kind of also interesting, aside the name, is that they are lyrically themed instrumental. No, it doesn't mean they're writing lyrics about instrumental, but it's more about the point they really don't know, what to sing. That is, they decided to go all instrumental with their music. No lyrics, but just, let the instrument do the talking. And while this is quite interesting, there are some minor flaws to that. Let's get into that in a bit. So, I will show you back this in a little bit. Now, let's take a look at this first album, the CD, which I'm just gonna quickly unbox here. We're not gonna waste the whole day taking a look at this stuff right here. So this is how the jewel case looks like. All the titles are in Roman numbers. Why so, you might ask? Well, maybe you just don't need names for your songs when you don't have any even lyrics. Some bands do that, however, obviously. And, well, to each their own. Inside we will find this booklet also, which kind of a nature themes, and, well, some more nature themes. Threes and recording information. I mean, what else you really need? Because you have anonymous members who don't want to show off their faces. You don't have lyrics to publish. What do you really need? Now, this MLP, however, is a little bit different thing. First of all, well, two-sided black 10-inch MLP, as you can see. These are three with some eyes, and as you can see closely, there's already gathered some dust with few spins. That's how it is. All the vinyl, so goddamn nice. Now, the cover image also features this kind of a nature image. There's a nice little plant here, and the rest of, I would imagine, a German forest with some sun setting down. Kind of a beautiful image, but would really need more brightness. On the other side, we have more bushes, shrubberies, like they said in the Monty Python theme. And then we have, obviously, the track list. 4 tracks, 2 on both sides. Then what we have here is a sort of a booklet. And once again, you start wondering, why does a instrumental band need a booklet? Well, to show all their nature photography. What the hell? What else? And what can you even imagine? This is a talk I've been saying before. But when you don't have lyrics in your black metal release, and black metal is so often said to be ideological band. So if you don't have lyrics to go with, except that this actually has a few German words here, you could just not call it black metal. This is a lifelong debate, and I don't think we're gonna reach any kind of conclusion with it. So let's go with this one. So one could say this is a kind of a green metal, nature-themed metal with the music that is often labeled as black metal. Now, with Towards Neglect, I was feeling very much like this band is not going to, doing any kind of a catchy stuff, not doing kind of a memorable stuff, but going all over the places. And very much the same thing happens with the first album. It's kind of like atmospheric black metal at some points, and then again, it sometimes have these elements which are almost like Black Death. It's kind of a mushy sound, you know, kind of a production that is not too much supporting this kind of a nice, beautiful, atmospheric feeling, but more about creating this a little bit like, I don't know if this better words than mushy, kind of like you had this oatmeal which kind of stuck there, not enough liquid, and you're like, and that's it. And this album could definitely benefit of more clear and crisp sound. Now, I'm a little bit on the verge of saying which one is the better one, this debut one or the second one. But to be honest, they are quite close on par with each other, so it's up to the individual to say. I still feel the band would actually evolve and progress from these two first albums here, because while they are kind of a promising, they really don't deserve the cigar. They're a little bit like mediocre-ish in the making, demo-ish, if you will. Now the good thing is, für nichts, ausser Asche, the 10-inch MLP here, this actually is a little bit better than those two. Now first of all, this is more, how to say, better constructed. The songwriting overall is a little bit better. And while this is still not very crisp in sound, at least it makes more sense. This is overall more enjoyable. And while you are kind of a hope that there would be vocals, I mean, they create more structure and make this album more, or would make this album more enjoyable. Now, this is not so much feeling like the previous two albums, which are mostly like, hey, these are the riffs which you use when you don't have vocals. So kind of like those middle parts, but you don't really have memorable chorus parts, or to be honest, nothing really memorable when you lack this kind of a structure. And that is, my friends, in my opinion, the biggest flaw on this band, you know, or with the band. That is, they lack the structure which vocals usually do. The kind of a like pacing, you know, you kind of have this starting riff, you usually have a second or third riff, you have a chorus part somewhere in the middle, you build bridges between these two, so you overall have what we could call Western songwriting thing. There's probably way more accurate word, professional word with that, but I'm gonna use it just like a dumb dude version of this thing. I mean, you lack structure, and as such you start having the part which is kind of like post-rock, post-metal kind of a thing. You build and build and build, but you don't never reach climax. You just abruptly end the song because you feel like, okay, it's done, let's move on. Now with this 10-inch EP, the band is now finally going to the place where you kind of wanted to be in the first place. At least in my opinion. And as such, I think content is going into a better place. Now there are a little bit of vocals, I think, in all of these albums, but it's not too much, and the band could actually, in my opinion, benefit, you know, when they were doing more of these vocals. Obviously it's a matter of taste. So far there are lots of people who are totally fine with instrumental black metal, and maybe they don't just kind of a need or feel the urge to have those vocals. I would enjoy if the band had more vocals, but maybe it's just me, I truly don't know. But at least there is something which could be said is a kind of a unique factor with this band, because, you know, those lack of vocals. So it might be actually the thing that sells you the whole deal here. I truly don't know, but what I do know is that you should give this one a chance and decide for yourself. Don't take my word for that. I think the latest EP is definitely decent and interesting, and those two before that, well, they're kind of okay as well, but this one is definitely the best so far. So give Contempt a go, and what can I say? I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching this lengthy review. Take care, my friends, and should you have any comments or questions, put them on the box below and I'll get back to you. Take care. Bye-bye.